Hey, what's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. Hootie and the Blowfish. So, I had some friends in town last night. They weren't able to meet up until later in the evening, so was looking for something to do to kill some time. The Killers was just too expensive. I really wanted to go again, but the cheapest tickets were $1,000. It's getting to a point with these ticket prices. I'm telling you, Bruno Mars. I looked at that was $700. When I say that, I'm meaning for the top, like the back level. Good seats, forget about it. Most of the cheap, good deal residencies, the Carrie Underwoods and Shania Twains, those were all going on, but I've seen them all many times. Didn't want to do that. And I saw Hootie was here. I've seen Hootie and the Blowfish before. For my life, I'm 48 years old, so Hootie came out during my college years. And, they are considered a frat band. Hootie's really interesting. I've seen them before. There's a couple bands in history. The best one I can think of off the top of my head is Nickelback. Nickelback, Hootie and the Blowfish. These were bands that it's like a double-edged sword. They were massive. Everybody knows how big they were. They sold tens of millions of albums. The music's good. Everybody knows the music's good because I don't care how much you hate Nickelback or Hootie and the Blowfish, you know most of the words to all their hits. It's just because they play them in every elevator, every shopping, every grocery store, every Macy's you walk into. It's overplayed, I guess is the right word. And something happens. It's like the early stages of cancel culture before we had a word for it, where people just started hating on them. And I don't know why. I really don't know. It's a weird phenomenon. It happens a lot today, obviously. But back then, it was just a weird thing. Hootie came around. It was like the remedy for grunge. That we needed to get out of grunge because I think grunge is exceptional music, but it was dark. It was really dark. And I think people were tired of hearing dark music. And I don't know the time frame, so correct me if I'm wrong. Hootie might have come right around the time where Cobain killed himself and the darkness got really real. It wasn't just the music. It was the whole lifestyle and the whole where people were. And then these goofy college frat type band kids came in with these happy-go-lucky catchy songs, and it's kind of what we needed, and we just all gravitated to it and propelled them to this huge success. And then like we do with Nickelback and these other people, we're like, fuck them, these guys are losers, that's cheesy shit, I don't want to do it anymore. And it was this flash couple years in the mid-90s where people were playing hacky sack. They had those buka, what they're called, those seashell necklaces. They were listening to Hootie and the Blowfish. It was a time. It was a thing. But when you go back and listen to it, the music is still good. It's like, Nick, I don't know how to explain it. It's hard to connect. There's no words for it. It's very hard to connect to this music. I think with the exception of Let Her Cry, it's really hard to connect. And then, so let me get into the set list. The show is at Fontainebleau. This is my second show there. I learned from the first show. Let's see. Ticket prices. They were pretty pricey for Hootie. To me, a Hootie and the Blowfish should be a $50 to $75 ticket for a good seat. I waited and waited. Nothing came down at all. I bought a seat for $109 plus those motherfucking Ticketmaster fees. Fuck you, Ticketmaster. Put it at $160, which to me is pretty expensive for Hootie, but compared to the other shows, it was still cheap, which is sad on its own thing. I don't love that venue. It was better than the last time I was there, just because don't sit on the floor. That's my advice. It would be tempting because it's the same price. That second level that's a great section. Not only is it elevated, on the floor is a really flat. It's cafeteria seating. It's like chairs, like folding chairs. It's not like what do they call it? Theater chairs, like you would see at any other venue. It's like those hard metal chairs you had in a cafeteria. But then in the 200 levels, it starts to elevate. So you're pretty close to the stage, and you have that elevation, and that's the way to go. I haven't been to the 300 or 400 level. Plus, in the back of the 200 level, there's a big hallway, and they set up behind the last row these little tables that are considered general admission. So you can just go there and stand up. So you can buy a middle seat, and if it's too crowded, you just walk around, and you got a good view from this general admission area. So that's my advice for seating. Tickets, again, were a little pricey for Hootie, but cheaper than most stuff out there. So they've been playing the same set list every night of their tour. For some reason, I think because they did 2 nights in Vegas, they decided to completely change it up, and nobody's posted it yet. So I don't know what the set list is. So I'm going to go through the set list they've been playing the whole tour, which is probably what you're going to get if you go to see them. And I'll try to remember how many of these songs that they played. And there was the big ones they played. So in the old set list, he starts with I Go Blind. He definitely did not, but I knew that song. They do play that. Wishing, I Will Wait, Time, which is one of their big ones that they definitely played. Running from an Angel. They did a Buffalo Springfield cover, which I guess they did. They do it regularly. I think they recorded it. For what it's worth, everybody loves that song. Look, man, Darius's voice. I don't have to get into the history of Darius, but his voice is bananas. It's bananas. He's got to have one of the most recognizable, rich voices in music history, I think. It's just so natural. And here we are 30 years later, I don't know, maybe 25 years. I'm not good at math. And he sounds perfect. He looks great. They all look great. He looks great. He sounds great. So to hear him sing these songs, For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield, is so good. Now, this is the first of many covers that they played. Another one they did was Champagne Supernova by Oasis, which was awesome. He does Wagon Wheel, but that's his song, actually. I think it's a cover, but he made it big, so it's not really a cover. They did a Zeppelin song. I think they did Hey, What Can I Do? They did Losing My Religion, which was cool because that's really from that era. He must have done a couple more. I don't remember what it was. But I think, again, it goes back to that double-edged sword. I think they know that on their own, for whatever reason, like Nickelback, people just associate that sound with them. And I think when they sprinkle in hits, they did Diana Ross, I think. They did a couple stuff in the 70s. But when they sprinkle in a little funk, a little, classic rock, a little country. I think he did his own song. I don't know which one is his, but people seem to have known it. I didn't know it. It mixes it up. It breaks up that Hootie and the Blowfish kind of sound. But let's keep going. Hannah Jane, Not Even the Trees. Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Wagon Wheel, Miss California. Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? The cover, Old Man and Me. Let Her Cry, which to me is their most, timeless, emotional song. His voice it's a great song, great lyrics. His voice is really shines on that song. And Losing My Religion, All Right, which I think is one of his country songs. Hold My Hand. I know they did that in the encore last night. So they closed with that. Go and Tell Him. And then I Only Want to Be With You. So their monster songs are monster songs. I Only Want to Be With You, Hold My Hand, Let Her Cry, Time, I Go Blind. I think those are their big ones. And they are big ones. And they deserve all the success they have because they're a great band. It's just they got that double-edged sword of Nickelback. And again, I think if you ask the band, I'm sure it bothers them. I actually saw this documentary on Netflix. Nickelback talks about it. It's like, yeah, sure, we'd love to be this loved band and go down in history for our success instead of like rolling your eyes, oh, it's Nickelback, oh, it's Hootie and the Blowfish. But at the same time, they made a lot of money. It's 30 years later. They're playing 2 nights in a decent-sized venue in Vegas. They're not playing like no county fairs or anything. They're good. They're still good. It's still a good show. I would give it on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll give it a 7.9. Solid. It's a solid show. If you're looking for a good night out, it's that good. It's exactly what you would expect it to be. That's the best way to put it. Like when you buy tickets for Hootie and the Blowfish, you know what you're going to get, and they deliver it. And they throw a couple interesting covers in there, which makes it a little cooler, and I think that's why they do it. It just breaks up hearing it. Show started at 8:30. It was done around close to 10:30. It's good stuff. 7.9. I don't know what else to say. I'm not very passionate about this band. I don't know a lot of their history, but I think we went into it enough. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. If you were there, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't buy floor seats at Fontainebleau. That's my advice. That's my lesson of the day. And I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.